like one time, regardless of planet, regardless of time zone. There you go.
Meanwhile.
So yeah, unless
Can I
there's
get a
anything else you guys want to do, you guys arrive. It is August 1st.
Oh, and also at that
You
time
said it was
too,
July
as
31st.
I never turned off the transmit, so like it's still being broadcast through the entire ship.
We're talking about beating hearts and
holding it in my hand.
All right,
So-
fine. It's the 31st.
And he goes,
July 31st. Whichever one. I don't care.
So
July
I'm going
31st
to-
gives you one more day. Let's do it.
It's the last time that we'll ever use the 31st.
Yeah.
Only in July is there a 31st day.
There's some weird time.
They took one day
thing.
out of February to make up.
There you
They
go.
gave one day to February.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
We don't want February to have 27 days.
July
That
is
would-
a
That would
month.
just be. That's where I draw the line.
July
No
is a
more.
leap month.
So Yosef feels a very strong connection with Yum Yum now.
So, what planet are we going to? Meowsif?
Yeah, actually, that's a good question.
I like how yours twitched right as
The-
you said that.
The
Titan.
The planets here are Mesa, Carthod, Landra, and Audon. Landra is where you guys originally started. Carthod is pretty much a small planet. Not too much happens there, except they do have a theocracy as a government political type system, which makes things really interesting considering what some of the religions, what some of the religious icons are in the future. And then there is Audon, which is mostly indoors. I guess most things are mostly indoors, but like the actual atmosphere is not great there. But a lot of people still do live in it. It's a lot of underground stuff, underground cities.
The planet of the mole people. Anyways, let's
So-
head back to him and see if his scientist who loves pre-tech artifacts can help us out.
Yeah,
So, to which planet then?
Landra.
Landria.
Laundry.
Planet Laundry.
We got to do my
land on
laundry.
Landra,
We got to do our
upside
laundry.
down.
Yeah.
Very bottom. No.
All right. So what's the first thing you guys do? So like you go through the docking process and all that. They check the ship's records electronically. Blah blah blah. You guys are on planet. You're in hangar B1, which is where the ship normally stays. So
Yeah,
We're gonna-
I am going
Also,
to.
there is a bulletin that you guys receive as you touch down, which states that the Talvari, which is one of the big factions in the entire sector at this point, is having a bunch of riots against the government here basically about workers' rights and stuff like that. So there are a bunch of riots going on. People are getting injured in a lot of places, and a lot of that comes from the shipyard kind of industry that Landra has. So a lot of companies are like, hey, let's put people to work and not pay them a lot. How about that? Of course, the people aren't assembling the ships. They're like working on the robots that assemble the ships, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. This is Yosef's first response when he sees it. It will be, people don't have rights. And he just kind of and then he just keeps on going.
Meow, I have my guns back.
I just. So I actually will go into where I was storing the gun, grab the shotgun, and shove it into her chest.
And my Meowser? The rifle?
Like
You
what's
can
the
have the
shotgun then?
Meowser.
Okay. Both? Okay.
You can have both of
Shotgun
them.
and my Meowser.
So the
All right.
shotgun is just called shotgun.
Shotgun's just a shotgun. Meowser.
You can
I've
have
missed
both
you.
of them. You can have both of them, but you only get one bullet for one of them, so that way we can take you out. Kidding.
Anyway, so I'm going. So as I'm like fetching Kami's stuff, I'm gonna call I'm gonna give a call. Oh, frack, what's his name again? I'm sorry.
Malik.
Malik. I'm gonna phone Malik and say, could we arrange a meeting with you? We have something that may be of interest.
Yeah, it doesn't take too long. It's just like 5 minutes, and you get a reply back. And he says, "Yes, of course. I am free in for the rest of the day after. What is the day-night cycle of this planet? Let's see.
It's
After
permanent darkness. It's tidal locked.
I'll just say after in 4 hours. 4 hours, and then onward is when he's free. And then at the end of the text message, it's smiley face, smiley face, smiley face.
So I'm going to gather everyone up. And so I'm gonna say over the comm, could everyone meet on the bridge before we disembark?
Yep.
All right. So
I changed our party
Yosef
notes
doesn't
into an
show
address
up.
book.
Yosef just doesn't show up. He's just like, no, I'm not going.
does okay. Well, I'm gonna sit down with everyone and I'm going to say, so that information back there, like that, like I'm okay selling everything that they had, but I would like to keep this, and I pull out the pendant. I would like to hold on to this. The data, pre-tech data, can be sold, but this, for some reason, was incredibly important. And at some point, I would like to know why. And
that's
as
something
generous as our host has been, I'd like to take it there myself.
I think it's a plan to not even mention the pendant. Keep it hidden, keep it on us, but don't mention it to him for now. And we'll just give him the information. The pre-tech information and data should be enough for them to give us some fundage and give us some leeway on the ship, especially since their pre-tech guy really wanted it.
No, Malik is basically like the pre-tech guy. He's the one who's super interested.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
He has
So
people who can like work with it, but he is the one who's got the super personal hobby about it.
Yeah, so I'm going to mention, like, it's likely this isn't particularly valuable anymore, but I'd like to make sure.
So what is that?
Not sure. When we were in the facility looking for the data on the plant, we found footage of people trying to get this thing out of the facility. Because the footage was from the moment of the scream. They were doing everything they could to get this out of the facility, or at least out of the insane psychic's hands.
I like keeping things out of psychics.
So I nod, pocket it again. All right, well, we'll be meeting with him in 4 hours.
I'll watch the ship.
You're welcome to. And so on the way out, I'm going to tell them to lock down the ship.
Oh, you're stopping by Yosef's room to tell him that you're leaving and I should lock the ship?
Oh no, I'm gonna go out to the pad and lock the ship down.
Okay. So it's just Yosef and Yum Yum on the ship.
Yes.
Wonderful.
I appreciate your dedication to
Meowsif.
keeping that name.
Yosef and Yum Yum. Action Crusaders.
And in comes the fan fiction.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think I want to see that art.
Yeah,
I
man.
actually don't even think that Yosef has realized that's a female yet, so
Yosef
he's not very in tune with other people.
He's not really in tune with machines either. He's just not really in tune.
No, he is very in tune with machines. You could say he worships them religiously.
True.
So, Johan and Gopala, what are you guys doing?
I'm gonna check
Also,
the
by the
prices
way,
on a new gun because I'm not happy with how it performed.
Malik invited you to his estate as well for the meeting, so
Okay.
he gave
How
you
long?
the location of that.
Okay. How long will it take to get there?
Wait.
If you're walking like 2 hours, if you want to take a Grav taxi or something like that, like 15 minutes.
I'll
It's at an
walk.
estate.
Yeah.
Is there gonna be food?
But I didn't tell Kami that.
There could be food. No, we could.
You're
Let's get her
discussing-
away from the ship.
Yeah. Fair point. It's like, all right, let's go.
Yeah, I think there's food. There's probably
Actually,
food.
maybe we
ate last
should.
time.
Maybe we shouldn't tell him about the lost pilot.
What pilot?
I'll go alone.
Are you
Like,
going alone?
Meet him alone?
Yeah.
Okay. I guess I'm staying with the ship now too.
Like, is everyone else okay with that? Does anyone insist on going, or are you just all like, yeah, sure, that's...
I don't care.
Yosef
what he
doesn't
wants.
want to go to begin with, so.
I don't
He
think
doesn't
Yosef ever
care.
wants to get off the ship.
Well, okay. While you're leaving, this is actually what Yosef is doing. He is calling everyone in his Rolodex, trying to find out how he can score some drugs. Because at this point, he has been without space
yeah, that's
Ritalin
true.
for a month and a
Like-
bit, and he is severely starting to
your,
suffer withdrawal.
your supply is, like, just running empty right now, so...
Okay. So he's trying to stock up with the appropriate balance.
Okay, yeah, Yosef, roll... Culture Criminal.
Hey, I'm going to go look for a. I'm gonna go look for a. Trying to think of what I'm thinking about. I'm gonna go look for a book I can buy, on business. Or business skill.
Okay, yeah, for sure.
It's a paper book. Very old, very good.
I don't think you'd need to roll for that.
By Donald
just,
Trump.
Getting a small loan of $1 million and creating an empire.
Let's see how much it's gonna cost. In the meantime, let's see, what else do we need to go through? Yosef, on a 7. Basically, like, you've been on this planet for a while, so you have some contacts that are like your usual dealers for the drug, not including the doctor that you kept bugging about it. But so yeah, you could just like call him up and be like, yeah, I want to buy some.
Sweet. So how much we talking for supply?
How much you need? How much are you looking
Yosef
for?
is on long distance traveling now, so Yosef needs a supply to last a while, if you know what I mean. And he does a very obvious wink, like,
All right, your
His
dealer's
entire
like,
head around.
Yosef, we've done this before. You-
oh, but I like doing the covert winking.
Alright,
And
so-
then he just kind of like looks and he's like, okay, I need at least a month. I don't know when I'll be back, and the other planets cannot be sure of its quality, if you know what I mean.
and he says, I can get 2 months, 300 credits.
I wish to know of the quality. What level are we talking about for 300?
It is the same thing that you usually get. Yosef, we've done this so many times before. And he's just like,
It's like, I think I should be at 300 credits. I should at least be allowed to taste test the merchandise.
he just sighs and hands you one.
Yosef takes it and he's like, oh, yes, this is very premium grade, yes. And then he just like hands over 300 credits.
Okay.
I'm also going to go buy another book that I'm sure lasted the turn or lasted everything, known as The Art of War Tactics.
Let's see.
But in
You
traditional things, it now has a new name on it. It's not by Sun Tzu anymore. It's by like Moon Bay or something.
so tactics you cannot use a book for anymore because you're already at a 1. I think like in this sort of thing, books can take you up to 0, but you need like training to
Okay, that
get
makes
further
sense.
than that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But you can do the business book. I still need to figure out how much that is. So yeah, Yosef, as the transaction finishes, he's like, "Pleasure doing business with you." Just like if I can even call it that, and kind
And
of.
Yosef's like winking again. He's like, I enjoy you. You are a real what they call people person, and I respect that.
All right, so to level something up to 0, it costs 500 credits. You can try to business that down, which is kind of funny because you're trying to get business from the skill book. So you know.
Right now, crying baby.
Let's see. Everyone else. So Fourth, you're going. Okay, so Fourth, let's go with you. So how do you want to get to the estate? Like you have 4 hours, so you have some time to kill. If you want to just walk there, it'll take 2 of the 4 hours. If you want to explore the city a little bit, do stuff, and then make your way over, you can take a grav taxi.
No, I'm gonna stretch my legs.
All right, cool.
So I'm thinking. I can't. So I already have a 0 in business. And I was thinking, I really am the better negotiator of everyone here, aren't I? Yeah, I'll just walk there. Maybe, God, so, if I did want to increase one of my skills from -1 to 0, like that would be 500 credits, you're
Yep,
saying?
500 credits.
Oh, I guess I can't
500
really.
credits to get like the proper training for it.
Yeah,
And like
yeah.
if you guys agree on it, you can take money out of the ship's funds too. But
No, we need to make
that's
rent.
sort of weird in terms of yeah.
So yeah, I'm just gonna walk there and hang out because it's a nice place.
All right. So your path takes you around sort of like the downtown area, and like the reports that you saw when you first got on the planet were like definitely true, and like there are people rioting all over the place, and like uh, there are just local law enforcement that are trying to keep everyone in line and try to keep a safe path for like cars and stuff like that to basically just try to contain everything, make sure things don't get too out of hand. But like bottles are flying over places and trashed aluminum cans and stuff, and then some land near your feet as well and as you're walking by. And there are a bunch of protest signs that have a bunch of like random uh, equal workers' rights, increase wages, just general protest signs.
Unioners.
You
So,
said
yeah.
a business roll for the business book.
You don't have to roll for it, but you can roll to try to like negotiate the price down.
Yeah, it sounds
It
like a
starts
plan
at 5.
because I can't afford 500 right now.
None of us can. We can barely we may not even depending on how
I
much
Still
money
can't
we
almost
give
could
this.
have.
Full price. You can borrow some from someone else. You can,
Mhm.
I don't know.
I'll just worry about it later. I expected us to have money, not the ship have money. Stupid ship.
Well, I mean, we need to pay rent.
The ship is our most
If you
richest
want to try to
party member.
convince your other party members to be like, hey, I need some funds for a book that
I'm
I
not worried
really
about
need.
I'm
Yeah, so-
self-sufficient.
I mean, the
I'm
entire
self-sufficient.
5,000 credit reward went into the ship, so you could say like, "Hey, let's split 1,000 of it." 1,000.
No, it's
Well,
okay.
first we have to see if we can make the payment.
And then also, Caboose, look through the psionic stuff and pick a secondary for this level.
Oh, a secondary as well? I get 2?
Yeah, so you get one level in your primary discipline and then one other level in a discipline of your choosing. It doesn't have to be the one that you originally took as your secondary. It can
Yeah.
be any so either whatever psychic harmonization was. I forgot what tree that was. So you can either take the second level of that tree or take the first level of any other tree.
Okay, I'll look into that then real quick.
Yep. Uh, Also, terminal reflection. You already have that on your sheet. Cool. So you know what that does. So Gopala, what do you just gonna sort of like keep it out of your mind and make your way over towards Malik?
Yeah, pretty much. Like, just try to generally avoid the ruckus.
Okay, yeah. Uh, so eventually you do make it to Malik's place, and then like it's pretty fancy. It's not in the heart of the city at all. It's sort of like near the outskirts, sort of by the suburbs kind of thing. And he's got pretty large yard. He's got a gate, big gate,
Hmm.
and you have to like buzz in and all that, and then have someone open everything for you. Bunch of stuff like that. But you manage to get inside, and Malik Vaughn greets you and says, "Oh, it's so nice to see you again. How is it going?" And then she goes to shake your hand again.
Yeah, I'll shake his hand and say, well, going from being a gunner for the exchange to being a captain of my own ship is jarring.
You were exchange, and he sort of like pauses for a sec, gives you a weird look. And oh, okay, interesting.
That was some time ago.
Well, the past is the past now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anyhow, what you were the one who called the meeting. What would you like to talk about?
Well, we found something interesting. We went over to Jorn, and because our doctor, who is now staying there, he was
I
called
liked
back.
him.
Yeah. Well, a while ago he helped create a vaccine using a plant. There were some issues with the plant, and so we were requested for payment to go in and look through the pre-tech facility there and see if we could find data on the plant.
And like you see he like lights up at the word pre-tech.
Mm-hmm. And so I'm egging him on a little bit, and I'll say, well, I'm sorry, could we sit? I walked the whole way here.
And he like, yes, of course. And then just like directs you to the living room or the common room or whatever, and motions you to sit on a like big chair, big fluffy, like very comfy chair, and then he motions for someone to bring over drinks, and then like what kind of drinks does Gopala like?
Gopala, like I get the feeling he used to be a beer person, but now he's a liquor person. After everything he's gone through.
So just scotch on the rocks for both of you.
Yeah.
And then so yeah, he says, anyway, I'll continue. And you can tell he's like, pre-tech.
Yeah.
It's like where his mindset is.
So I'm going to say it was fascinating. Of course, the facility had been closed down for some time, and we had to put the power back on using its own generators. I'm impressed that Yosef was able to do it. But either way, we had a scuffle with the turret, but then we were eventually able to give ourselves security clearance, except for a robot that was there, independent of those systems. We actually had to kite around it. But we did manage to discover the computer system, and this is what I think might be of interest to you. The computer system was loaded up with a wealth of information. Unfortunately, the power systems began to fail very quickly around this time, and so we were only able to get a little bit of information out of it. But the sort of data that was in it was massive. As far as we could tell from the security footage, it was everything they could upload before the facility was taken down by one of their psychics driven mad by the scream.
And so like he was very up here, like involved, interested
Yeah.
in the whole conversation. And when you end, he's like, "Wow, that is just crazy. I can't believe so soon you guys already found some pre-tech. So, do you have any artifacts for me, or is it just the information?"
Hmm.
I mean, don't get me wrong, the information is still good. It's just a little bit less useful to me. You know, I have to get my guys over to check it out, and Frosa, I hear it's just uninhabitable. Like you can't get on the planet itself. So I need something physical that I can have, that I can put on my shelves over here, and you know how it is.
Hmm. Well, there was mention of some sort of pendant they were trying to get out of the facility, but we couldn't find anything like that.
All right, so he sort of frowns and he's like, I'd never heard of anything like that, but something that I probably would like to have either way. Anyhow, I guess you guys still did well. Anything else you want to talk about? So you said Frosa, right? I can probably check it out. I doubt I'll be able to get very far in terms of getting some of that information, but we'll see.
Hmm. So that actually, unfortunately, because the payout wasn't great, we can only make a little over half of the payment this month. But if we do take this information to university, we may be able to use the payout to finish up this month's rent. Is that reasonable?
So he kind of like sits back in his chair a little bit, and you can tell he's like thinking about it. And in a little bit, he's just like, "How about we settle this with a game? Are you up for that?"
What kind of game?
All right, so
Dungeon Dice Monsters.
You're gonna play D&D inside of Stars Without Numbers. Roll a dice to see what kind of monster he rolls.
We're gonna play Battleship.
he actually just like does this with his hand and like clicks a button on the side of the chair or like on one of the tables near the chair, and like the one of the walls just like goes down, and then a screen sort of pops out. And like you see this game system that's also like rising up as well, and like it's definitely a video game that he wants to challenge.
Is this Madden? Is this a Madden
It's a
commercial?
Super
That's what's happening?
Nintendo.
No, it's not a Madden commercial. It's like a like sort of like a StarCraft kind of ish game.
Mm-hmm.
Future StarCraft.
Universe Craft.
Heart of the Void Wings. Like their 80th
Legacy of the
expansion.
Void Wings. There you go.
So like yeah, so you guys like start playing it, and do you have any like experience with just video games at all?
You know, I imagine that Gapala would have a remarkable amount of experience just because like the flights are so dull.
Okay.
So I imagine he's
first-person
played a
shooter.
bunch of this.
So for something like this, you know, make a tactics roll.
All right, I have a +1 to tactics, so 2d6 + 1, and then okay.
Oh my god!
Holy
Wow.
Not only did you win, you also turned all of his units to your side.
Holy
Somehow
shit!
Made the new
subverted.
meta.
Wow!
Like
Actually,
Clean-
what you did, I got a good idea. Like you were playing Zerg and you dropped in, you neural parasited a worker, and you defeated him with his own team.
And so like after the first game, he's like, best 2 out of 3. And so like you guys play another one, and he gets smoked like even harder the second time than the first time. And he's just like, wow, you are really good at this.
I had time.
Have you thought about esports?
Yeah. How
Like,
about
I'm currently diamond.
on my
God.
team?
Good.
I could use you for my StarCraft team. Let's do this. But yeah, he like shakes your hands like those were some good games, and I like you. I like you a lot. And then just like, sure, we can delay this payment a little bit, and we'll call it. You know what? Let's this month is free too. Why not? Let's go for it.
Okay. All right. Well,
I like how you said that, and Fox's ears like perked up.
I like free stuff.
that's so. I'm just going to not say that's very generous of you.
Yeah. So he like just continues making small talk for a little bit, and I don't know if there's anything specific you want to mention, or just like, just hang out for a bit.
No,
Maybe
not.
one or two more drinks.
No, not. Yeah, just hang out for a couple more drinks. Sure.
All right, cool. Fox, Kami, what do you want to do?
Maybe,
you're on the ship, right?
maybe I could give you some tips on the game.
Yeah, you guys like talk strategy about the game too. Good.
No, I'm since the ship's logged down.
What
I'm
was it?
pretty
Heart
bored,
of the
I'm just
Void
kicking
Wings.
shit.
Yeah, Heart of the
I'm
Void.
gonna, I hunt down that Roomba and I start kicking it around like a soccer ball.
Is Yosef still on the ship? I thought.
Yeah,
Oh no, he went to go
Yosef-
get some
no, no, no.
drugs, but
Yosef got the guy to come to the ship because Yosef didn't
Oh,
want to
okay.
leave. So if people were paying attention, they'd probably watch this guy walking in with a crate of drugs
into the hangar.
into the hangar. Like it was totally overt, like workers' strike and everything. So nobody's even checking anything.
Yeah.
Fair point.
I mean, it's not a very high security planet anyway. Like there are some planets that are like cameras on every single wall, but this isn't one of those.
You're saying they're like alliance-run planets?
Yeah.
All right. Well, in that case, yeah. So after done chatting for a while, I'll walk back to the ship. Keep stretching my legs and see how the situation is changing.
Okay. So Kami and Yosef, you two are on the ship. Apparently Kami starts like kicking the Roomba.
Well, probably not around me, right? Just like wherever
Wherever it happens to
I mean,
be.
where
Wouldn't
I don't
necessarily
know.
hunt you down and start kicking it in front of you.
Pick
No,
it up
it would
and
probably
bring it
just start
See
giving
this
error
room?
logs.
No more shower pictures.
But shower pictures are important.
If you want, we can roll to see if you kick it near Yosef.
Okay, let's
Sure.
roll.
So I guess 10 or higher, and it's near Yosef.
Okay.
It's not near Yosef.
Okay, so I don't even see.
Yeah. Is
So
that,
there's now
is that
some
it?
kind of error that happens.
Just
Yeah.
bored.
What
Alright.
does the Roomba do if it's hit? Like, what's the base programming? Does it just like, oh, whatever, and it
turns
just kind of
around and
sits
goes
there?
the other
Doesn't it
way.
think it's a wall? Like, is that?
Yeah, it thinks it's a
It
wall,
probably
it
thinks
turns
it's a
around and goes
wall,
the other
turns
way.
around.
My map has gone completely wrong.
It's got like this foot-shaped wall thing now in its map.
So yeah, everyone probably gets back at the ship at roughly the same time. I don't know why Yosef would have stayed out for that long. Maybe he right. Yeah, so Yosef arrives sooner. Maybe an hour and a half later, Gopala comes back to the ship, and now you're all at the ship.
All right. So, I'm going to so yeah, now that we're all at the ship, I'm going to so I'll have, ungrounded the ship. I'm gonna walk up to the bridge, put my hands on, like, I'm like, Gopala's feeling pretty invigorated right now.
Pretty happy.
But yeah, he puts his hands on the back of the pilot seat and says, "All right, let's get to Kanad."
Okay.
Like, and Gopala's like really excited, and Kami's just like,
Nobody else says anything. Gopala's
So,
just like, we're leaving. Let's
Kami,
go.
you also notice that Gopala is talking to you and happy at the same time, which generally doesn't happen.
Okay, it was confusing.
All right, well,
Take off.
yeah, all right.
Now
Is
we're-
that
And I start doing
that-
barrel rolls on the way up. and in a moment,
That-
just trying to get everyone sick that I can.
that sounds like a great way to end the session.
Yeah, and Yosef is plenty happy right now. So
Yosef
focused.
finally got drugs, and it wasn't from the doctor though.
No.
Real talk. I feel like that's a really gratifying way to end this week.
Yeah,
Spiral off into the.
it's nearing 3 hours too, so we could just like make small talk for the next 10 minutes and be fine.
Yeah, sure.
Sounds good.
We usually go for about that long, anyways.
God knows.
The
Yeah.
intro.
Yeah, usually.
Usually, last week was definitely an exception, but
Yeah.
So I'm thinking we need theme music for each of our characters when we're talking.
No, like, we just need Guile's theme for each of us, and just restarts every time one of us talks. Real talk. I love the ears.
Oh god, they're great, except this little sensor on the head is really, really tight.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah, you occasionally see me adjusting it, but it really digs in there.
So how do those actually work? Does it just like forehead movement make
So,
the ears twitch? Or...
I'm not really sure what it detects with the forehead thing, but it's also got the ear attachment, and it kind of measures like heart rates, such like that, from those two positions, and it uses that to basically judge how attentive you are to try to gauge your mood. So the more attentive you are, the perkier the easier will be. If you just kind of like whatever and your pulse rate, heart rate's low, they'll just kind of droop and stuff like that.
so
are
that's
you
why like during
artificially-
certain conversations it was like shh.
Yeah.
Were you artificially trying to change your heart rate in order to get the ears to respond in certain ways?
Only to a very small extent. Basically, I tried to feel more emotionally when it was appropriate.
Hmm.
Neat.
Years.
Pretty cool actually.
It is
Yeah,
kind of
Yosef and Yum Yum are gonna get along swimmingly, at
Jesus
least from
Christ.
Yosef's perspective.
All right, we
Yeah.
need a new stretch goal in Star Citizen, like 110 million cat ears.
best of the pilots.
And I also sort of forgot about this, but I remember watching me say it when I watched the VODs back to make sure I didn't forget anything important. And then someone wasn't going to be like, but in session 2, you said this.
Hmm.
But goals. You guys can make goals.
Oh, right. Yes.
Yeah.
And
Goals.
goals also give you experience, in addition to just missions.
Yeah.
One of my goals is to
So you
run
might
away from
level-
a killer robot.
I think
You might
missed
level
that
up
one.
more than once per 4 sessions. Who knows?
Maybe.
All right. Well, so
But yeah,
these are
we don't
goals
have
that
to
we
do
are.
the goals on stream unless you want to. Like, if anyone has goals right now that they want to like say, "Hey, I want this to be my goal," go for
Yeah,
it.
I
Some
have.
goals are probably going to be things that are a
I
little bit
want
more
mine
private.
to be concealed.
yeah,
These
so
guys
you can
will not
conceal your
stop
goals if
me
you want.
from accomplishing my goals.
Right.
In that case, just message me.
Yeah. So the one goal that I really have in mind is I want to figure out. I want to satisfy my curiosity about this pendant.
Okay, yeah, for sure. So you just want to find more information on the pendant.
Yeah.
Cool. New goal.
Solve
There
the
you go.
mystery of
Bam.
the pendant.
My goal is to kill a guy with a heavy machine gun.
I think that's too like that's just straight up combat, like not story oriented, not character
But I have to
development,
get
not
the heavy machine gun first. It's like a huge.
It's a love story. Don't you understand?
It is.
yeah,
Me and my gun and my rocket launcher are all making babies of dead people.
So I want goals to serve a plot or character development purpose. So
Okay.
We call it the Meowsamizer? I don't know. I'm trying to
Meowsy.
think of a name.
and then also 2 goals max.
Oh hell.
So you can have 1 goal if you want. You can have 0 if you want. You just level up slowly.
I'll make goals with you after we cut stream.
Sounds good.
And I'll do it sometime during the week.
Hold on a moment.
What are you looking at? Huh? What are you looking at?
You talking to a baby?
Referring to the baby.
You talking to it?
Yeah. We're looking at you talking to the baby.
This is still one of the only babies I know that watches TV, like actively.
Turn
I
the
think
stream on
all
for
of
him.
them watch TV.
Guess.
Like you just have to point them at it. I think just lots of
No,
people
I mean,
don't
like-
let their babies look at TV.
He'll actively like twist his head around to find the TV when it's on. That's all I mean. It's like he actively searches for the TV if it's on.
My brother's kid. It doesn't really watch TV. Well, it loves TV, but um, what he'll do is he'll just grab all the controllers. He likes turning things on and off and seeing what the buttons do. It's pretty funny. So you get to look forward to that stage when you lose all your controllers and have no idea why.
Sorry about that.
No, all he does is grab cords and pull on them right now.
Oh, okay.
Which is also annoying because I've had my headset hit the ground like 9 times. And when you have a $300 headset, you don't want it to hit the ground too many times.
Nice.
Did any of you want to try Talisman, bud?
Maybe.
We have to do Pulsar first, though.
We do
Yeah.
have to do Pulsar. However, I don't have free copies of Pulsar.
I can pick up
good point.
Pulsar.
Um,
I've been eyeing that game for so long.
Oh man, I looked at it the other day.
I might just,
The
like, buy
updates and all, it's
Pulsar
kind of
right now.
impressive. It's worth just looking at. You can get on, figure out some of the roles and stuff, and then play it for real later.
Yeah, yeah.
At least
No, I'm gonna go into it blind like we did Artemis.
Yeah.
that also
Artemis
works.
is so fun, though.
Maybe we could just do that tonight. If everyone
Part
can
of the
get it.
fun of Artemis was doing it blind.
I would do it tonight, but I can't commit to it with the baby.
Yeah.
I can barely commit to one league game, let alone
Just be the gunner.
hours of.
You don't have to.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I
Just be
appreciate
the
that
captain.
Yeah.
I appreciate how dedicated
Hard
it
to
is to
port.
just being FTL first, like FTL and Goyo.
It's pretty fun.
How does
added
it
new
work?
ships,
Like,
too.
how's the tech work?
Well, what do you really mean by that?
Well, I mean, like, how bad does it glitch you out of the ship?
No, I haven't really run into any glitches or anything. The
Huh.
inside of the ship works fine.
Cool.
Involving that. You can beam over to other ships, okay, stuff like that. Although, make sure you're gonna stop shooting it if you do that. There have been problems. I beamed over and suddenly I'm dead. What? It's like, oh, it blew up.
Can't be as confusing as the Artemis death.
No.
The first time we died on Artemis when I was testing the proximity gear. No, that was when we were flying in the warp drive. That's right. We were flying in the warp drive and we just died randomly.
Oh, really?
It didn't tell us
Yeah,
anything. It was
the
just like
screen
the
went
game
black,
crashed.
and then we were in the menu, like the original menu, and we're like, "Did the game crash?" It's
And
like,
we had to look up
"Oh,
in the
we
logs to
died."
see what happened.
Did you run into
it
a
wasn't
ZZ or
one of the
something?
situations where you were told you died. You had to look up in the logs that you died.
So one of my favorite things about it, of course.
Wait, how did you
is-
die? You can't just blue ball me like that.
We don't know.
We don't know.
Yeah, we
It
just
didn't tell us.
warped.
It
Oh,
just happens.
We warped and just died.
shit.
But in Pulsar, if you turn the ship off, like you can get viruses and you can clear them out by shutting down the ship, or you might need to shut it down to conserve power or normal power, but heat, such like that. Just turn everything off. There's actually a fairly complicated process to turn the ship back on. You have to like flip one of the breakers and then go reset the computer systems and then flip another one and turn on the shields and all and so on and so forth. And it's kind of neat, actually.
Yeah, it's
Engineering,
pretty
I
cool.
think, is the most fun role.
I love engineering.
Yeah.
That's
Although
my thing.
science has got research and stuff, and it does the viruses, so science is looking better now. Although I haven't tried it since those changes.
One of you
Gunnery,
guys
I
can be
don't
that.
like personally, but if you like shooting things,
So yeah, like what does everyone do? Because like I totally will fill a niche that needs filling.
well, I've almost always been the captain when I play with people because I know all of the roles, but I don't care what I am. Otherwise, engineer would be my second choice, then science third, and then piloting, and then gunnery. I figure Caboose will want to fly. Pilot.
We should play in character.
I mean, I could be gunner.
I'll be
I'm cool with
Malik.
that.
You
I'm-
own
I'm-
the ship.
I'm cool with being gunnery. I played competitive Guns of Icarus for forever. I figure I'll have the knack for it.
So with gunnery, there's two positions you can fire on most ships. You've got the primary gun,
I'm just gonna buy it now.
which
Fuck it.
it's good shit. But you've got the primary gun, which knocks the ship back when you shoot it. It's just like this massive gun. It's kind of hilarious because the pilot's like, "What the hell just happened? Why is the ship spinning?" And then you've got the main laser guns, which can kind of be automated, or you can fire them manually. But usually the gunner has to focus on that primary weapon and then just jump to the other. Between sometimes the captain can go help. There are multiple stations, but they added in captain chairs you can sit in now. So if I'm the
Oh,
captain,
I already bought Pulsar. I was like,
Oh,
what do
nice.
you mean I don't?
Yeah.
Yeah, screw it.
But I
I'm gonna
played
get it
several
too.
months ago, and you hit like a content wall that lacked, but it seems they've improved that. Although, since it's still beta, it's probably still got more to go.
I'm gonna give in and get it.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. How many copies of this do I have?
All right, in the meantime,
Now that I know there are
it
other
is-
people I can play it with, yeah, I can't deny myself this any longer.
I have 2
It-
copies of Talisman. Who wants one?
it is hitting the 3-hour mark, so before we do that, let's go straight into outros.
Yeah, sure.
I'm Azaraki Dragon, game master, GM, whatever you want to call it. I do esports stuff. Let's see, recently been writing for DVS. Still, that's going strong. Warframe, Conclave, the PvP. I do a lot of that, and we're gonna have a tournament soon, so that's gonna be fun. It's gonna be like a casual tournament because there are only like 20 of us that actually play PvP, but that's cool. Let's see what else. There was one more thing I wanted to mention. Oh yes, this session was a lot of fun actually. I liked playing Malik. I want to do more of that more often. I think
I liked
he's a
rolling
good
double
character.
sixes.
Yeah, that was crazy. But yeah, super fun to once again be DMing this sandbox campaign. Like the fact that Stars Without Number basically just gave me a rule set is like, all right, here's the backstory of the entire like universe kind of thing. Make everything else up. Awesome. I'm having a lot of fun with it, and I'm glad that I actually have a Stars Without Number session that or campaign that went for more than 2 sessions. So congrats, guys, on doing that.
Yay.
You know what really interested me about this game, to interject, is that we really didn't do anything. We role played basically the whole time. There's like no combat.
Yeah, I
mostly no
appreciated
combat.
that.
It was kind of neat.
Except
Yeah.
for when I shot you.
Yeah, it was very quick.
We had one turn
Yeah.
of combat,
One turn of
and I
combat.
had to go a little bit meta to make it work, but it's okay.
And yeah, that's sort of like the thing of this game. It's definitely a lot more story and world focused than combat focused. But for those of you out there who do want to focus on combat and find combat focus, we have 2 campaigns that are upcoming. I think one of them is going to be pretty combat focused, and the other one is going to be somewhat combat focused.
Yeah.
The one that's somewhat being Caboose's, right? Anyway,
Yeah.
you do that on your turn. My turn's over, which, speaking of, it's going straight to Caboose, so here you go. Oh,
Nice.
the baby's crying?
No, you're fine.
Okay.
He's just squirming. He's not crying yet. He'll be crying in 5 minutes, and I'll mute my microphone. My name's Caboose. We're going to be leading another campaign. The name of the campaign is going to be Calling into Action, or Call into Action. I forgot I changed it from Calling to Call into. Call into Action, and it's going to be run in the D20 modern system, which is kind of a modern adaptation of, like, I think it's 3.0, D&D 3.0, just with modern guns and stuff like that, different wealth systems, different things like that. That'll most likely be running on a Monday. I don't know what time, we haven't decided yet. It'll be probably waiting until I get my computer running in the first place before we actually can run it. But yeah, so look for that to come up. That'll be up on my Twitter at FLG Caboose. And yeah, I'll see you guys next week.
Team.
Max Mute.
Right, I have to actually push to talk. I always forget this. It was a fun time this time. Yosef got to be crazy, and that's always fun for me. Nothing really much going on other than my complaints about Rainbow Six and stuff before the thing. But I did want to say I found something which I don't even know if it's fairly new or not, but you guys are aware of you can put out your processor for SETI and help search the galaxy, right?
I
Yeah.
haven't
Well-
done that since like the late '90s.
Yeah. No. This is something a bit newer. I don't know exactly when it came out, but it's called Folding at Home, and it's basically used for research for folding all the molecules and stuff for research for cancer, Alzheimer's, and stuff like that. So you can, if that's something that interests you, it's called Folding at Home, and it's donate your processor to help cure for cancer. That's pretty much it for me.
That's cool. All right. Filibuster Fox.
I don't really have anything left to add. It's been fun. We'll see you next week. And of course, when the other games get started, I'm to the other games that are coming this way. So I hope you like my face. I like my face. Nice face. Especially this part right here. My jawline. I've got a
Start
fantastic
patting
jawline.
it like you like.
You're getting
face.
very ASMR here.
Well, anyways, let's move on.
Nice.
Oh, and I've been told to tell you what one of the other games is, Empire of the Rose, that my friend is GMing, and it's a D&D 5th edition game that will be coming on Tuesdays. May or may not start this next week. It may be the week after. I'm not 100% sure, but it will certainly appear on the offline screen when it is set.
Yep, and I'll also tweet about it once we get that rolling too.
Now I'm done.
Okay. All right. I guess I'm last. I've been writing a ton. Book is this close to done. It's really crazy. Like, I am no longer on the first draft of any of the stories. Like, they're all done. They're all in some phase of the editing process, which is insane to me. One of them is completely done. Another one, like, I got half done editing, probably the second to last edit today. It's novel length, so it's been a really crazy journey. And also the articles have been going up. I'll copy pasta it again. I'm posting articles about ships and Star Citizen, and that's actually been a lot of fun. Like flying, doing the research, and trying them out for myself, and also doing research into the ships, like the World War II ships they've been based off of, because SIG apparently has a massive hard-on for World War II era fighters. So that's it. That's everything I've done. Like, that's
Cool.
what I'm doing. And
follow the channel, follow us all on Twitter stuff. My Twitter's probably going to have most of the updates on Tabletop Taverns itself. You go. What'd you say?
You need to make a new overlay.
Oh yeah, for the new character.
Yeah. That's all I wanted to say.
Yep, for sure. So
All
yeah,
right.
let's sign off. Goodbye.
Bye.